Hello. It's a Monday. We've left Jaygo at school, bless him. Me and Jen have come to Fremantle to check it out. Fremantle Oval. That's a pretty nice pitch. So we're just wandering up to Fremantle Prison. It's constructed by convicts between 1851 and 1859. It was Western Australia's main place of incarceration until it closed in 1991. The establishment is the most intact such complex in Australia and is an outstanding symbol of the period in which Western Australia was developed using convict labour. So you can actually book on a tour of the prison. It's classed as a World Heritage Site and it's the only built World Heritage Site in Australia.
So no biting. Or kicking or listening.
Now, what's missing from the showers?
Shower curtains.
Yeah, the doors. Where's the doors? There are no doors. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Good thing in prison.
Oh, so it depends how exciting you are, doesn't it? Right? Now, in this case, it's actually a good thing. So everything's open, everything's visible, everything's safer. Make sense? Yeah. Because after 20 years of colonization, you only had 5,000 Europeans living here, okay? And they didn't have enough manpower to build all their bridges and roads and houses and stuff. So they were up to England, they said, send us some convicts, or slaves in other words, right? They needed men to build all their bridges and roads and houses and stuff. And I say men because they literally said, we don't want any women, right? We just want young, fit men to work, right? So 10,000 men came up the hill, and when they got here, there was an even bigger hill. And if you look towards the base of the southern wall, you see at the base of the wall there's a big chunk of rock there, and that was part of a huge mound. They used to cover this whole area, and they dug it up and they carved into blocks and built what?
Prison.
Right. And took 4 deaths in 7 years, cost £7,000, which is about $2 million in today's money, and it ran for 136 years. It closed down in 1990. The guy up on the 3rd floor gets a hold of some diamond wire, and he's cutting through the bars, right? He cuts through 1, he cuts through 2. He's running out of time to cut the 3rd because it's slow going, right? The sun's coming up, he's running out of time. So what he does, because he's a bit fat, he can't wriggle through, so he gets naked, and he gets butter and he rubs it all over his head and shoulders. You guys like butter? You ever tried rubbing it all over your head? And try when you get home, okay? He goes through the window, and he gets onto the greasy pipe, and what happens?
Slips. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Imagine that, that's quite a visual, isn't it? Half-naked, greasy man covered in butter, falling and hitting the floor. So look, there was over 250 escape attempts from this prison. Attempts, right? Most of these guys were injured or killed in the attempt. The ones that did make it over either returned by themselves or they died outside, right? There was very few, in fact there was only one prisoner really who ever escaped here and never came back again. And if you're old enough, you might remember old Brendan Abbott, or the postcard bandit, who escaped here in 1989 by making himself a guard's uniform. Clever boy, right? He was on the run for 5 years. He was Australia's most wanted. He robbed over 40 banks, got away with about $5 million in cash. The reason why he never came back here is because the prison actually closed while he was on the run. Right? That's why he never returned. What kind of place was it?
I worked in hospitality, using like big kitchens and then pretty much later in time I had to be out that.
They have 6 seasons. Right? So they said, oh, who cares if they paint on the walls? And obviously they did knock it down and some of this stuff has survived. So what are we looking at here? Trees. What else? Kangaroos. Emus, animals, rivers, nature, freedom, isn't it? The Great Wall of China when they were on the years ago, I believe it was a well. Right, so remember so we keep mentioning these tunnels which run in the prison full of water. In more recent times, what they would actually use this for was a form of entertainment or gambling. Anyone know what they used to do here? Not two up. No. Good marbles. These were used for cockroach races. Alright?
Oh my gosh.
So in terms of restoration, yeah, that happens constantly, but because it's a World Heritage building, they have to be very careful not to destroy anything or cover anything. They have to do their best trying to keep it as it is. Suicide nets came in because people jump off, get pushed off, get thrown off, and also protect the guards from tables and chairs and furniture. Not going to stop a bucket full of poo though, is it? Yeah, Fremantle the port has been its whole life. It's the third windiest city in the world behind Chicago and Wellington, okay?
I said that. He said that.
Guys doing 8 to 15 years, lots of career criminals, armed robbers, that kind of thing. This guy's really also involved in the accommodation window. He sees blankets made of squares and they stitch them together so you can't make them hanging. Some of them breaks apart. You see the doors here open outwards, but they don't go in.
'em. Oh wow. I've got a TV at this one.
Done well, then there shouldn't be any mess. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, I need a volunteer. Hole in the ground there called the super pit. It's the biggest open cut gold mine in the world to be mined.
Thinking about like when we time.
So they're like homemade tattoo machines. Quite good artwork, isn't it? Please tell me that's not real skin. It's homemade tattoo. So where they can get the freak on. Nice little gift shop. It's Jenni's next anniversary gift. Ball and shit. So me and Jen have just finished the tour of Fremantle Prison. It's really interesting. Seeing the gallows and actually finding out that about 20% of all hangings and stuff like that were actually innocent people. That's quite horrible to think. They've got tunnels underneath the prison which actually feed all the fresh water to the prison and to Fremantle as well.
We're going to come back and do that one.
We're going to come back and do that one. We couldn't do the tour today because it was on too late in the day for us to be able to go pick Jaygo up. So we're definitely coming back to do that one. That was sounds wicked. There's about 1,500 prisoners in total in the prison. The boys as young as 8 years old, they were in prison. Beaten and flogged and God, you name it, they did it. It's horrible. But they also housed the mental patients in there and they called that Fraggle Rock. They did house women there for a little bit. Separate prison built within there, within the prison walls to house women, and that had a wall built around it to obviously stop the men getting in there. 93% of prison population is male, so only 7% women. So basically, we're more angry. We do more bad stuff. And apparently, families with 2 boys, the younger one, 30% more likely to be imprisoned. Random fact, don't know why. You know, the tour guide was brilliant. The tour itself was ace. Can't wait to do the tunnel ones, and would recommend it to anyone. Jenny's impressed with the tree. This tunnel is apparently where they brought all the whales up from the river, the sea that they caught when they used to do whaling. Used to bring them right up through there and into here. And they used to... It was more of a quick visit to Fremantle than we kind of anticipated. After we'd done the tour around the prison, we took a walk around a bit and just had a look around. We were kind of time restricted on getting back home to go pick Jaygo up from school. So again, it's just something for us to check out once we've got like more of a full day and we've got Jaygo with us, because kind of missed him today. So